only thing in our society that bothers me the most is the way that men and women don't get along. That's really what's bugging me about it. Men and women just don't get along. Like, I hear women say this all the time. I know a lot of you sisters be like, chivalry is dead. Don't you? Don't y'all feel that way? Like men aren't gentlemen anymore? That's right. Chivalry is dead. And women. There's a fundamental difference in the way we're gonna see things. We're not gonna see eye to eye on this issue. We're just not. Our tests in life are different. A woman's test in life is material. A man's test in life is a woman.
He's absolutely right. I couldn't go further on that, but he's absolutely right. Now, what I want you guys to take note is that we're always saying these things, but what you have to pay attention to is the fact that this is 30 years old. So you have to understand that this ideology has existed. It's just that we were programmed to ignore it even 30 years ago, and it's just now shining light now.
Do you ever sleep with a guy knowing he has a girlfriend?
No. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. If me
There go that weight. It's always that weight.
and this guy has history, right? And we got like real history, and he just got a girlfriend like maybe last month.
Okay, now you notice she said if her and the guy has time and he has a girlfriend and it's at the beginning of that phase, then yes, she would mess with him. And you know why? It's because that's her last chance to keep his attention. She knows what the other woman's gonna do. She knows after a couple weeks of him dating or after a couple months, that other girl is gonna take full control over the man. You have to understand, regardless of what a woman says to you, her entire goal is to conquer you. Whether it's submissive or whether it's in a dominant way, she will run the show. That's the ultimate goal.
Like, I know that she doesn't have anything on me, and because we have a strong history, it's like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
She'll be gone soon.
Spoken like a true player.
What's your favorite red flag in a person?
My favorite red flag, okay, I'm gonna get canceled for this and this is that. I like when a guy put his hands on me. I know. Domestic is bad.
What? Did y'all hear what she said? He likes it when a guy put his hands on her. You have to understand, this is the dysfunctionality of these type of women. You have to understand as well, everything is always from a worst case scenario. In a worst case scenario, this is the type of woman you should not be dealing with, period.
And I get it, but I gotta stop playing with me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Shut the f up.
So they showing you they want a man to take control and get them in check. What you have to realize is these are college students that are saying this when they're taught to be independent, that they don't need a man, but the type of man that they want has to be aggressive. Not all women, just the type of women men are used to nowadays.
The average man, that's a thankless job because he's building the roads, building your car, changing your oil. Literally everything that it takes to make the world happen is done by the average man. Now, even the opportunity of having a family has been taken from him, which is a scary thought because what's going to happen to all these disillusioned men?
And you're right. Society will collapse if men are too weak to keep the economy going up because they're waiting on a woman to do it. That's what a lot of you guys have been programmed to do. You're waiting for a woman to tell you that you're happy, to tell you that you're the man, to give you gratification. So in that process, the world will collapse because she's in it for selfish reasons. Once her moods change, the man will have to adjust to her moods.
So I think it's definitely okay and encouraged for women to have high standards, but so long as you're being the same standard that you set for men. And the real issue isn't that women have like high standards. It's that they're being hypocrites in expecting a man to pay for their rent and pay for their nails and pay for everything when they don't give the equivalent of value in a relationship. So,
and she's right. But what you have to understand about this is that a lot of you guys out there, the normal guys, the guys that are working the 9 to 5s, the guys that are building right now, what you don't understand and that you have to understand and that you have to start thinking from this angle, you're outnumbered by simps. Women are very emotional creatures. The more confident they act on surface, the more insecure they are behind the scenes. They are the greatest actors. And I have told you guys this time and time again, men, you have to learn to be actors when you get around a woman. You have to act like you don't like her that much. You have to act like you have other women without saying it. You have to act a certain way because her entire life is an act to get you to do the things that she wants you to do. But as long as you are outnumbered by simps, there's always someone around to worship her, which now places you in a position to work harder to get her. But women always react to reverse psychology. What do I mean? That means the nicer you treat her, the worse she's going to treat you. The worse you treat her, the nicer she's going to be. This is not for all women. There's no one size fit all for all women. But I can tell you, the ones that are acting like this, it works with.
What's my career? I'm a professional whore.
Love it.
Yes,
Press the
love
button,
it, honesty,
Press the
baby.
button.
Be honest.
Haram!
My body count's like I don't know, like definitely over the hundreds. I don't know. I don't stop. What I do for career is I do OnlyFans.com/, so pay my bills.
Listen, I think the world's ready for the asteroid. I'm ready for the asteroid. I'm not afraid, right? I think we've got to a point now we need to just welcome it.
He's right. We are at the point now where it's like, how much worse can it get from here? Like, what else can women do and men? Let's just be honest here. There's a lot of guys out there doing some effery as well. But what can we go as far as women now? Men have lost most of the respect. Not all, because you still have some good women out there. But for the most part, when you have a man looking at his phone every day and all he's seeing is the worst type of woman in the worst type of scenario, this is what people are left to believe. And it's not just men, it's women. Everyone is coming online and they're only seeing the worst scenario. But you have to understand, that's the place where you learn from, because the worst scenario is the same thing that got you here. So for everyone out there that say, Anthony, why do y'all always talk about the same thing? Why all the red pill guys always talk about the same thing? Because the worst scenario is what brought them here. If their relationship would have ended in a good way, then they wouldn't need to come on the internet. They would just turn around and continue to live their life.
Women would look over the good men in their 20s and like pick the bad boys. And then in their 30s, they're like, oh, well, take me now. But it's like, they're kind of salty because we overlooked them in our 20s.
Yeah, we do overlook them in our 20s. And I can say we overlook them in our 30s because I've been stuck with some bad men in the 30s. I feel like now it's kind of like there are really no good men. I haven't found a good guy, so.
She even admitted she overlooked them when she was young. Guess what happened now when you're past 30, struggling to find a quote good man? Why? Because all the good men evaporated in your 20s.
She's right. See, in the 20s, I tell you guys all the time, in your 20s, you have to be careful, but you have to be risky. Because during this time period, this is what's going to mold your personality. This is what's going to mold the rest of your life going forward in relationships. It's extremely important for you to stay on your purpose. When it comes to a female is going to be a female. But what a lot of you guys have to understand is that you are outnumbered by women. When you walk down the street, you're outnumbered by women. Why you think there's more groups of women now with scattered little beta males in between? Look at what just happened out there in Mexico. Whenever you start mixing these dominant women with feminized men, you get chaos and confusion. And no one's really caring about the situation because they kind of look at it like, well, look what you guys were doing. What you have to understand is we're living in a world of confusion. The only way for you to reach happiness is to look outside the world and look into the world and see what they're doing. You have to think outside the box now because there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to fix it. There's nothing you're going to do to get the elites to change. There's nothing that you're going to do to be able to stop the bots. There's nothing you're going to be able to do to stop the sheep. You just have to find a way to not fall under everyone else's thinking. Because if you start thinking like everyone else, then you're going to lose focus as to what's actually happening in this world that's being controlled by the Matrix. What do I mean by a world that's being controlled by the Matrix? See, everyone wants to feel like there's somebody. The safest place to go is online, because online is a whole bunch of invisible people that's able to give emotion through words. So people have fell in love with what they see and hear. Right? That's coming towards them that makes them feel popular, which is why people fall in love with likes and dislikes. It's because it kind of places their value of where the happiness is. But the problem is when you log off the internet and you walk around outside, none of those people in the physical form look at you the same way. And that's what society is having a hard time coping with. It's because they're tired of looking at the same stuff on the internet every single day. So when you decide that you don't want to look at the internet no more and you go back into reality, it's hard for you to fit in because people don't know how to associate with each other in the physical form anymore. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys get the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.